Hello, 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 everybody. How we all doing today? What is this? Regicide, season 3, session 10, part 1. I want to say. Does that sound? Hey, Aklo. Does that sound correct to everybody?
I don't know.
Aw, I have a Pride World. Thanks, Aklo. I want to have some my Pride World with some Pride tea. That's what I'm gonna do. Where's Pride World? There's so much Pride stuff. Pride World, Pride tea. Nope. Just gonna write the word T. Maybe that'll make it happen. Pride LGBT. Ah, that's funny. I don't think I got that before. Here. Hey, what's up?
I said forgetting some letters there.
Oh,
my
snap.
goodness.
Oh, snap.
Jesus.
Oh, snap.
Aklo.
Okay, I also got a Pride Dragon, so rawr to you. Oh, Jesus. Hello.
I don't even know all the Pride things that I got.
I closed the chat for like 2 minutes.
And you don't get any Pride.
I missed all the Pride.
No Pride for you, sir.
I got a Koala, I got a Strong, I got a Rise. Ooh, I got the Penguin.
Getting a rise out of me.
Flower.
Yeah, the total number of Pride things, there's a bunch. I like Pride Strong. Pride Strong is pretty cool.
That's me. Pride.
I personally like Pride Koala and the Pride Unicorn, as well as the Pride Flower here. Pride World is pretty cool as well, but these are my 4 favorites so far that I have.
Pride Flower's dope.
I'm literally 1 sub away from breaking 300 for the first time ever.
Wait, did we not hit a hype train?
No,
we need to hit a hype train.
I think you need a 3rd act to.
Yeah, you need 3 acts within 5 minutes or something. Yeah. We need a 3rd act here. Who's Act 3?
Act 3 of the hype train.
It could be 1 gift sub, and it'll be the first time Scott hits 300 subs. It could be you.
Who's gonna be Mr. or Mrs. 300?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what? Scott, what will you give Mr. or Mrs. 300? Will you give them any powers?
Do I show them my feet because this is 300?
I thought you could have had them create a gift item in game, but you know, they already did it. Ooh. And look, we have a hype train.
There it is.
We have a hype train.
Pride Shrug?
Oh, I got LGBT.
And Pride
I got
Pride
I got Pride Hay. I got Pride Hay.
Oh, is that?
Can we trade?
Oh, Alicia.
Holy cow, we're already
Holy.
223% after level 5.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. It just went
Because of the
straight to
amount of
complete.
gift
We're starting out strong today.
Oh my God.
Wait, does that mean we get a reroll too?
So no, because we don't do that, but I will do something. So just so you know, last time I got Hype Train started, it went to over 1,000%. I don't remember the exact number, but let's call it 1150, as I think what the percentage it ended up being, which is crazy. I don't know. I think Tyler, chat. I have a suggestion here. For the hype train, we can do one of 2 things here. One, we can give everybody in the chat everybody in the cast here, 1 minor magic item, or we can make something on Tyler's magic item a big boot. So 1 minor one for everyone, or oh my God!
Oh my God!
Anna!
Holy shit!
How about both?
I'm getting so many things right now.
How about both?
So many crazy emotes.
I just got the Pride paint. This is insane.
God.
I'm loving this. This is the most Pride emotes I've been able to unlock.
So many Pride emotes. It's so cool.
Great.
This is so cool.
Thank you so much. Oh my God.
Holy cow, you guys, chat, you were incredible.
Yeah, that's insane.
We're gonna get our shit trump carded so hard today.
Oh God.
We're gonna get like 3 of them.
Give Rena her armor back. Oh my God.
I know 4 people who will not trump this session. I know 4 people that are gonna be like, I am not trumping this session.
I know
I'm just gonna
that
watch and hope.
I know of somebody who might trump the very beginning of this session.
Maybe.
For a particular thing that I thought was hilarious when I was talking about different things.
Oh, thanks, Sinatra girl. There's so many thank yous I'm gonna have to do during the break. Is Jesus Christ, there's so many here. Oh my God.
It's nuts.
It's funny because I was literally walking and going, oh, I wanted to, we should just kind of like jump right into this and whatnot because we really need to like get going. But holy shit. Okay.
You guys need 3 immovable rods.
So I don't know. I suppose I'll make a vote. What I'll say is either 3 small things or one big thing. And the big thing, I don't know whether it would seem big to you, but it's literally something Tyler explicitly asked for. That's all I'll say. No spoilers from there. So I'll leave it kind of to you guys. Let me get a vote up and going on this one. Jesus Christ.
Wait, I thought you had a different plan because we were talking about this beforehand, but I mean,
Don't worry
whatever you do, your call,
No,
man.
this was
Your
the
call.
No. A different, because you and I are talking about two different things. Yeah. So,
Okay.
what to give the crew? I love
There
the hype
just
train, by the
nothing
way.
is an option.
Is nothing an option? Nothing should be. You know, I'm gonna give you nothing as an option. So
Why
maybe
did
some.
you say
Yeah.
that?
Why?
Just some
Oh my god. Also,
bad.
they got
I'm
1,000 bits.
It's
Oh,
like
look,
a
I got
third party
another.
candidate. Oh
I got
Jesus.
15.
You wanna know what's sad? I only have one half of the hand heart
I
for
like that
pride.
one.
I only have this
Which
hand.
I have
Wait,
the
do
other
I have
half.
the other one? You guys are cute. Oh.
Look. I mean, it
We
doesn't
can
really work
complete the
'cause it's
pride.
not
Love
really,
symbol.
but-
The little
Oh, yeah.
things for.
I'll trade you your right hand for one of my left hands.
You guys showing off when you have both.
Yeah, they're flexing on us with
They're
their
flexing.
hands.
Give them all a note that says "Get good, nub."
Get good.
Don't laugh at that. They
Noob.
might do
It's
it.
noob.
But they
Don't do
spelled
that.
it nub. Noob is spelled with 2
Poll
O's.
started. I really gotta. Jesus Christ! Oh my God. I
Oh
really
my
gotta.
gosh.
I really gotta get the what's it called? Some more fun things for when you have lots of Daelric pop. I gotta get some more fun stuff to do with that because I don't really have much in there. It's just the basic generic ones. Should come up with some cool stuff for that one. All right. Do I have the ability to do the hug?
Aklo.
Jesus, Aklo. Can I do the heart? Can I do the heart? Because I do the heart.
Oh, everybody's voting for
can.
nothing.
I can do the heart.
Oh, I got the
Stop
big
voting
one.
for no things.
Oh, I got another thing.
Oh my God!
I got
so
a
many
line.
things.
I got the other half of the heart.
Is
Oh
that
my
another- Oh my
gosh.
God! Fucking Snaga and
Wow!
Jesus.
Wow! Nobody loves me apparently. They just want to give a.
I've just spent like 3,000.
Notice how big thing is in all caps.
I can't even see where the hype
just-
train's at because the current pole's in the way. Go away, current pole. My God.
Yeah, the current poll. The
Oh, I
current
like
poll
that
can
one.
end with us probably getting nothing, or all 3 little things.
I put
There
in
are
a
a
lot of
whopping
votes for
8
3 little
votes.
things.
There's a whopping 8 votes for
I
the
have so
big.
many cute ones. This is
I don't know,
adorable.
guys. It's not too late to push. It's not too late to push hard for the one big thing with Tyler. The one
It's
big
a little
thing.
late, I think.
hi.
I think it is.
So
a
I
little
think
late.
it's a little late. There's 113
I-
votes for
I-
3 little things.
Where's he going?
Pizza.
That's
Pizza.
our
Pizza.
DM.
Pizza. Pizza. Okay, I gotta come back
Oh,
and
I
keep
have
watching.
mine too.
He's-
No,
sorry,
why
wife
is
was
this vote
suddenly
so
right there,
close?
and I
This
was
isn't
like,
this is
oh
not
my gosh.
cool.
Oh no, my gosh.
I don't think it's gonna rise fast enough.
Oh my God.
wait,
We're
hold
at
on.
the tail end.
Nothing is now
Jesus.
winning. Hold up, nothing
Oh,
is
come
now
on.
winning.
Nothing is
guys,
winning. Oh my God,
please.
how is nothing winning? Oh my God, we're at the last few seconds. You gotta push for something for the crew. Oh my God.
Wait.
Rena, this is gonna be all your fault, and I love it. Oh, if nothing wins, I'm gonna be so happy.
No.
Nothing
No.
wins. Nothing
you
wins.
serious?
And it's Otto's
Frick.
fault.
Points.
You prick, Anna.
Did Otto make nothing happen?
Ano
Yes.
used like 17,000 points.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
I
No,
used 40,000 for 3 big
72,500
things.
points.
3 little things.
Listen, if I die this time, I know why. So,
Anna, what did you vote for?
vote is rigged.
And they say third-party candidates can't win. I'll have you know, it's a lie. Third-party candidates can win. Thank you, Rena, for sliding in last second as a third-party candidate to this election we had right here. Everybody, thank you for coming to the polls.
The election was bought and paid for by Anna.
I don't know what the
That's
big
not
thing would
democracy.
have been, and I'm upset now. All I know is
sorry.
the little thing probably would not have helped Ophios at all.
It was going to be the
Oh, we
upgrade.
know what the big thing
Tyler,
is.
it was going to be the upgrade that you
Yeah.
asked for.
Oh,
The big thing was going to be the
Yeah.
upgrade.
The upgrade
The
that you
big
asked
thing?
for. But, oh my God, Jesus Christ. I didn't even see what, because the vote got in the way of my being able to see it. Did anybody see what the hype train got to for percentage?
I couldn't. The things in
I
the middle
didn't
of
see
time.
it yet.
wait, it would have been the thing I messaged you about today?
Yeah, the thing we were
No,
talking
talking about beforehand. The upgrade.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it afterwards. Or just
Okay.
message him, Messy.
The thing that lets you use the thing that
Did
I
anybody
did the
see
thing
what,
with.
what the percentage got to? Because I didn't get to see that. I really wanted to see it. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to see the percentage too.
Snaga said, "You honestly think I won't TC them? Good luck in the Temple of Doom."
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
Awesome,
that's
thank you,
amazing.
Anna.
I'm terrified.
I don't remember.
And I
what-
just made it harder.
And subs are, just so you guys know, subs are actually at 312. So Jesus Christ, that is just absolute like insanity. So, oh, Jake, what's up, Jake? So, oh, Jake is saying it's 10,057. And the reason why Jake is saying
1,057.
Sorry, 1,057. My apologies. My number, I always had zeros. The reason why he's saying 1,057 is because he wants to more or less be like, yeah, but we're 3 better than. Because somebody else said that the other one stopped at like 1,006. Yeah, I think he's just trying to flex. I think that's all it is. Yeah. All right. Holy crap. We have some things we have to do. And hey, chat, for all of you peoples that have like a ton of daddies, I am going to be introducing something. This is something, as I talked about beforehand. I like the idea of introducing like the ultra Fortune's Favor, called like more or less Hand the Narrative or Player's Perspective or whatever it is. However, I was talking about it beforehand. I think I am going to introduce that because it allows you to unload a ridiculous amount of daddies all at once for something that really plays into the favor of the party, especially really crucial moments. I just haven't done it yet. And just like how I can disable trump cards in Fortune's Favor sometimes I will disable that because sometimes I can't let them have the perspective because only I can describe stuff happening, right? All right. And Aklo finishes up with giving you guys a little bit of luck. Oh, nice, Aklo. All right. So, all right. Let's get to
this
this.
in comparison, but sure, yeah.
Let's get to the story.
Nice.
I'm gonna let Messi recap last session from his perspective, and I'll let Rena recap it from the other team's perspective, and then we'll jump right in.
I'm trying to remember where we started. Did we
So I can
start
steal pizza
at?
bites.
Well, also because you needed to do that thing that you said you were going to do. Did we start last session at the camp when we got the letter from the lady saying we could go into the Temple of Doom? Is that where we started? Or was there something before that?
You were more or less were traveling to and very quickly arrived there, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Elijah goes and meets this chick. She's pretty cool. She's a commander. She's really scary and mean. I can't remember her name for the life of me. I think I wrote it down, but I haven't looked at these notes in weeks or a week, so I don't know.
Do you want me to do this for you?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay. Messi's character got all the way up to Zatish, met with the commander in charge there.
I don't
She had
remember
a
the
skull
name.
sitting on her desk. Apparently that skull was the skull of the previous commander that sat in the seat, who somehow they were able to learn about the existence of snake people from that skull because of the whatever pertaining to Ophios.
Barbara
She
Barnes,
then agreed.
that's it.
Barbara Barnes then agreed to assist the party because she agreed to a degree with what it is that they're doing. She's concerned about her nation, the well-being of it, and whether there's infiltrators there. So Barbara Barnes gave to the party 10,000 gold, which Messi totally did not spend on only one item. And then she gave the permission to push things forward, so on and so forth. And then literally, you guys left and started heading back. When you head back, there was a fun instance where there was like a little bit of a rubbing between the commander that you're traveling with and the higher ranked commander that kind of stopped you, brickwalled you before. Eventually, you went up to the old ruins, the old mole keep that was there. Some strange reaction happened for, what's his name? Cadus. He was able to see something, tried to describe it to you and, what's her name? Ophelia. But it didn't, but you, because you had rolled a 1 before and you guys have fumbles here, weren't able to see through, no how, no way. She actually was able to see through, much for Cadus and for her by the aid of chat, where it was actually able to see through it. And in doing so, saw that there wasn't just some random keep there. Actually, some strange structure exists there. Some almost like, I can't remember what this kind of ruins are called, but I always refer to them as like Aztec ruins, but
Like
or Mayan ruins.
Or something.
There's actually a specific word for this kind of pyramid. I just always forget. Anyways, this is literally the image he drew in the sand with a stick to try to describe to you what it is that he saw. And then from there, it was, if this is what Loper magic is like, we're not going to be able to handle this alone.
Mesoamerican pyramids?
Hmm?
You're talking about a Mesoamerican pyramid.
Yeah,
Sounds like
yeah.
Step pyramid.
So you know, again, from Central and South America. So anyways, yeah, when you guys then decided to head north to Zholgov to make sure that you can actually collect the rest of your party, because Kata's got the impression he's going to need the rest of them to accomplish this. Like there's enough information here to at least pull them out. Maybe he'll put them back. All right, that's what happened from your perspective. Rena, from the perspective of your characters, how would you like to sum up what happened for you?
I would just like to insert the poop emoji here. That's pretty much it.
Her,
Yeah.
she cleaned the tube of poop leaving the station.
Poop tube.
Well, she actually held the guy up that was in the tube as opposed to being in the tube herself, and then let him get sick and was like, you deserved the shit.
I rolled better. Yeah. He got sick. I didn't, and he wasn't trying to make amends or anything. I said, look, this is what you get for not even trying. She's mad.
You're like,
So
you
no,
made this shitty situation shittier.
Yeah, exactly. So Rena and her cellmate do not get along. As far as Ophios, though, their relationship, his and his cellmate, started off kind of rocky. So Ophios jacked him, and the poor dude was like, "Okay, that's fine. I'll be normal," you know. And then he ended up, you know, helping out Ophios when Ophios protected him in this like sort of at what, like training or fighting that they did with the guards, where it was more the guards like abusing them than anything than training. So then Ophios' cellmate was kind of getting the brunt of that, and so Ophios stands in and he kind of protects him in a way, which leads to his cellmate kind of becoming more amicable towards Ophios, and so now they have kind of like a little budding friendship, or something like that. That's kind of where we left off, though. It was just right after that incident happened, so.
Yeah, Ophios' wounds got infected, and his cellmate has been helping him to heal from the infection and the sickness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. We're actually going to pick up, because you're simply just traveling north, Elijah, traveling north to Zholgov. So we're not going to have the camera on you pretty much at all until you get to Zholgov. For the two of you, we're going to allow 2 more weeks to pass. This is what ends up happening for you.
Oh, boy.
As always, after 2 weeks, things change. You get a new punishment. Now, during these 2 weeks, I know obviously you had different concerns. One person's a friend to aid them and them to aid the other one. This morning, when you wake up, they ding, 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 wake you up from your cells. We'll bring the camera to Rena's chewing, so we'll bring the camera to Tyler first. So they come ting, 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 ting along your cell. And obviously you feel like absolute shit. Talk more with your mouth full. It makes it easier to understand you. Okay. I mean, you want me to. So anyways, you actually, they come and wake you up, and they more or less say, let's go, time for work. And when they bring you out to do your work, they tell you, it's your responsibility to water the grass, is what they say as you go. Tyler, roll an insight check.
Normal?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Bad rolls start early.
You have no idea what that means. They say it's your responsibility to water the grass. But before you go out there, they actually take a cloak and they throw it over you and throw it over your head. Not a magical cloak, a regular one. So you can actually like disguise who you are. So nobody can see, because you're actually brought out into the common area. Out there, you're actually brought over to an area where it is literally just a whole bunch of like crab, like it's swamplands, right? So it's not real grass, it's like weeds and crabgrass and stuff like that. It's all sitting out on the ground inside the walls of the keep. Now, Rena, with one of her first jobs, because I think she was the one that was chopping weeds the first 2 weeks or whatever, she is familiar with this area when she gets there and sees it. One of the things that you notice, Ophios, when you go out there, as though you're amongst the first group of people that go out there, you can roll me a perception check.
Does my passive of 13 help?
No, roll.
Shit.
You don't really notice anything aside from the fact that there's other people out there sitting and on the grass, just sitting there. When you're finally brought over to where you and your partner are to sit, they take, there's an area where there's like spikes driven into the ground. You don't know how hard or how well they're anchored, but they're definitely driven into the ground, and they go over and they kind of like clip your thing on. You can imagine almost like one of those like C-clamp sort of grab-ons. Has a little bit of a like a linchpin latch that kind of locks it in place so your chains can't get up. And they just put you over there and have you stand or sit there. And then they say, all right, you can start watering the grass now. And they walk away. Rena, going to you, same idea. When you go out there, you can actually see that they say the same exact thing. Ting, 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 ting. This week, you're watering the grass. Roll me a insight check.
Okay.
My cellmate's with me this time? Too?
Your cellmate's always with you when you go to work.
Okay.
You, unfortunately, it's just you have no relationship with your partner, even though you, you know, he's literally dying. Well, I should say he's literally dying. He's literally deceased and whatnot. You have no relationship with him. You have no read off of him when they say this. But they're dragging guys out there. You're literally the first or second couple, I'll say, that goes out there. And you're literally brought over to the grass. As I said, your character has seen it beforehand, where is a C-clamps or whatever, you're going to be sitting there and you're C-clamped on. With your previous job, you've actually seen other people sitting here before, and you thought it was kind of weird that they sat there, but you never got along with your partner, so you never asked any questions, so you never learned what it was. So you just saw people sitting there for a while when you were doing work in the area, and the area didn't think anything of it. So anyways, you're brought out there, and you are sat down, and they literally clamp the thing, and you're welcome to stand, you're welcome to sit, you're welcome to walk in a very tight little circle, because if you imagine it's 10 feet long, the chain between the two of you, or whatever I said it was before, and 8 feet long. You have a 4 foot length because it's clamped in the middle. You can walk in a little, what's that, 8 foot diameter circle, right? That you can do around this little thing if you're stepping over around your partner there. Eventually, I want you to roll a perception check as other peoples are brought out.
Okay.
Am I rolling a perception check? Did Rena come out first or me?
You came out later on. I was letting her eat first. So you actually notice at one point in time that not only did you see Laszlo come out here, he is not looking good, but Laszlo is still alive. You actually also see at one point in time Ophios comes over. I imagine you try to give him like a look or a nod, something to catch his eye, but he's so kind of confused about what's going on, looking about, he doesn't seem to notice you. I mean, truth be told, there are 10 pair of you out here. You know what I mean? All in all, when he walks out, there's 10 pair. When everything's said and done, there's 15 pair, meaning 30 total prisoners that are out here, chains pinned down into the grass. You don't remember if this is how many were here before when you saw this, but you honestly weren't counting or paying attention at that time, and that was weeks of horror ago. Right now, all you can really think about is poop. Anyways, you are chained there over the course of, say, less than an hour is when everybody kind of comes out and gets chained down as well. The distance between the two of you guys, I'll actually allow Messy to roll a D100 to see the distance between the two of you by sheer chance.
Roll low.
Roll low.
Not bad.
It's actually not too bad of a distance. It's one of those things where if you were trying to get his attention and you were trying to like whisper over to him, it'd be, you know, kind of like a loud whisper or like a low talk where a guard might definitely notice it if they were nearby. Would definitely notice if they were nearby. But if they were a bit far away or kind of distracted, they might not notice you guys verbally communicating. If you were able to communicate beyond just basic verbal communication, that's a hard maybe. Anyways, you notice that's where he gets put down. He doesn't notice you yet. As for how far away Laszlo is, once again, Messy, if you can roll that die. He's actually even closer. Now I'm gonna give roll a D8 for me, but before you do so, call the direction from Rena that Tyler is. Roll a D8 and call the direction first. Tell me the number. I see. Say the number before you roll the d8.
Southeast,
Which is?
diagonally down.
So I guess 1, 2, 3, 4 would be southeast. Okay, so 4. All right, thanks.
Sure. What is it? 1d8.
Yep. You want to roll a 4. You rolled a 1.
How about a 1?
So Laszlo's closer to you than Ophios is, but Laszlo's like just like ahead of you that way, whereas Ophios is kind of like behind you and off to the side. So Laszlo's closer, but there's a huge distance between the two of them. They're not really going to be able to communicate. So if you imagine Rena as the center, Laszlo's not too far that way. Ophios is a little bit further that way. Cool. Moving on. That's kind of what you see. The first like hour and a half after everybody's put here, so Rena, you've been here for about 2.5 hours, they've made you do nothing. Nothing's happened. And there was a lot of guards around and they were looking rather menacing. So there really wasn't any chatter. You also didn't really get the instinct to lean over and start talking while this is here. At this point, they start kind of like filtering out. The number of guards reduces as you guys are properly clamped in and whatnot. And they start going about their other responsibilities. Leaving, of course, the group of you just sitting there. What do either of you do, if anything, for these first few hours, first day?
Go ahead, Rena. You were out there, so you can act first.
I was gonna say about how
This
many guards
Laszlo
are-
existed before the other Laszlo did. The other Laszlo's unimaginative naming, just to be clear.
Yeah, so it's Josh's fault.
About how many guards are out here? Is it like 20 plus? Like
No,
not that many. Okay,
Yeah.
I was just curious.
There's 30 of you, so there's when I say 4 guards, I mean there's 2 kind of like walking about. There's one like off to the side, which would be the area that if somebody were to come and go from, there's like a gated area, like a barred area with a swinging gate. There's one over by there on the inside of the gate, not the outside. And then there's a 4th one that's up on the wall area where you were kind of beforehand with your previous job, cutting vines. Up in the walled area, walking around, clearly has a crossbow or whatever. The guards down here don't have bladed weapons. They all have like cudgels and stuff like that. Nothing bladed. But up there, that guy definitely has a crossbow.
Okay. I was just curious. Go ahead, Tyler. Whatever you were gonna say.
Ophios would actually talk to his cellmate and he'd be like, "Do you guys know anything of this place?"
You're gonna try to be discreet, so roll me a I suppose this would just be a deception check, because you're trying not to catch attention.
All right. Lucky for me, that's a good roll for me.
So you ask that, and you see that one of the heads of the snake kind of like goes up and down. Yes, you actually see that the cloak is kind of like moving over towards you, as the snake is staying underneath the cloak but getting towards you, so it's not necessarily seen by the other prisoners here. And it says, "Yes, it is where use waters the grasses." This is again a snake head, which is why it sounds like that. His head doesn't quite as bad as those.
Ophios is actually gonna go into his native tongue and see if he understands the native tongue still.
Sure.
And simply say, well, it's called Draconic on my sheet, but it's Sloko or Slokona or whatever. And I'll just simply say,
it's just a different dialect of Draconic, but it's Draconic.
What's it means to waters the grass?
You can see that not that snake head, but like the primary one actually snaps his head towards you and looks at you. He's not wearing the same, his hood's not up on his cloak because he doesn't need to, yours is. So he snaps his head and looks at you, gives you like a bit of a concerned look, like he's almost like confused looking. I'm actually gonna roll to see if he can understand you. And I'll open roll this too, because unfortunately his mental faculties aren't there. So
right.
Roll with his intelligence, but he rolls with disadvantage.
Also, his particular class of this race is probably less intelligent than maybe mine. Maybe not. Actually, he rolled well.
He seems
Same intelligence.
He seems to understand you. It takes a moment before he can respond, and literally his cloak kind of like comes back in a little bit, and you can see there's like a little talk back and forth between his head and the other head. The other one kind of comes up, and there's like a convening of the three heads. It's a little weird because you imagine that was somebody talking about sock puppets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like his conscience. Remember, one was like depressed and one was like super angry and bitey. So you have the like sad good side and the like I'm vicious as heck evil side.
So eventually the head comes back over and it speaks to you. It's very unpracticed in its tongue, and you know that at some point in time it may have known this language, but it's broken. It's weird. It has a hard time understanding. Because again, it was as far as you understand, he was taken here when he was very young. So
Yeah.
so it's very broken, and it does mix in mostly Perrin words to get this across. And it says, "You sit or you walk, and you sweat."
That's what I was worried about. That's what I was worried about.
They will bring out 1 meal a day and no water.
And you're stuck out tears at nights.
At nights, they bring you into your cell. People's never left out at night.
I apologize ahead of times, but you once said you could turn into a snake before and forgot how to do so. We may not be sleeping anytime soon.
Again, looks at you kind of confused. Oh, sorry, that you just see, because you can't see the thing because it's underneath the cloak. The cloak just kind of like lifts up a little higher. So you see like the blanket just kind of like raises up more or less. It looks at you a bit. Anyways, and that's kind of where that ends.
I'll talk later.
Rena, what are you doing, if anything?
I'm between Laszlo and Ophios, but both of them are a considerable distance away from me.
Can she roll perception to see if she could, or what insight if she was looking at me to see if she knew what I was doing, or
she knows that you didn't notice her, and you're behind her,
Okay.
so it makes sense that you wouldn't notice her at this point either. You know what I mean?
right. Also, Ophios is literally focused on him and his cellmate because that's what it's been for the last 8 weeks or whatever it is.
It's been 6 weeks so far.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
but-
this is the beginning of the fourth coupling. So anyways, Rena, I'm sorry. You notice Ophios. He's a distance from you. To put it in feet, he's probably about, because it's not that much, he's probably about 20 feet from you, and the other one's probably about 15 feet from you. But again,
So Laszlo's closer.
Laszlo's closer,
Yeah.
but ahead of you, and he's back there.
Can I see?
And you could tell Laszlo was fluffed up, but I don't think you saw anything on Ophios because.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. What is my cellmate doing? He's sick, so I imagine he's probably laying down or something.
He's just lying there. He's rolling between, over those 2.5 hours, rolling between being like spread eagle and being like fetal.
Obviously going in and out of pain and anguish and fever and
The humidity and the heat here is miserable.
yeah. Ophios is part snake. He's meditating.
It's like, oh, it's fine.
You're
Used to
cold-blooded.
this.
You're cold-blooded, so you can actually go longer periods of time without water than others. Like a lot longer. You get most of your liquids from eating. So like 1 meal a day, that's gonna be uncomfortable. I can make it work. Rena, however, is getting ready for a world of hurt.
Yeah.
So we're just on like a little area of just grass? Are there any like pebbles or rocks or anything like that kind of around? Do I see anything
Yeah,
else?
it's not like perfectly maintained by any stretch. It's literally just I say grass and dirt, but it's a swamp. It's soppy sometimes. Like literally at some point in time, you're gonna imagine, and I will describe this as we go. People like shove their face in it, try to slurp up the soppy mud because it will rain.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What would I have to roll to be able to talk to my cellmate? Was it
Same idea.
stealth?
Deception.
Oh, deception.
To hide it from the guards, yeah.
Pretty sweet. You actually are able to pull it off. Go ahead.
Okay, sweet. I guess she'll just move a little bit closer to him and ask, so how are you holding up?
Oh. Fuck. I don't think I'm gonna make it. If it was something else, maybe, but not this. I don't think I'm gonna make this.
So you've been out here before?
Yep. Every 3 months or so, you get a stint out here.
And how long was that the last time you were here?
Well, 5 months ago. Back then it was winter. Weren't so bad.
Were you out here the whole time?
Oh. You're, all more or less from just after dawn to about dusk. They leave nobody out overnight because, people try to break out at night.
I can see why. Yeah, there's nothing really I can do for him at this point. Or can I? Can I tell, like, just how bad he's getting? Do I think he's gonna die today?
Roll
Like,
a medicine check.
okay.
Without some degree of aid, he's not going to survive this. If it's at all what he's just described to you, he's not going to be able to survive this on his own volition. You're going to have to help him if you expect him to survive, if you care for him to survive. Help him can come in many ways, depending on how terrible this is. Just speaking in the meta, because obviously we're kind of like going through 2 weeks in a moment. He's going to need more water than he'll otherwise be able to get on his own. You're probably going to have to give him some of your own water that you get, which puts you even higher risk. He's probably gonna need a bit more food because his body's gonna need the calories to help fight back whatever he's going through. Besides, you get part of your liquid intake through food. You know what I mean? So that would also assist there. But some points in time he's gonna need shade because even though it's you're in a swampy area and there's a lot of canopy air, but sometimes you could be pinned in a spot where there's more sun. It could just be beat on him. It's just. He's just going to need several degrees of assistance.
Right.
Just to have a chance to survive. Otherwise, he's more or less he's sick. And being feverish in this.
Is that like kind of the weather today? Is it like super sunny, really hot out today?
It's summertime. It's the tail end of summer, granted, but it's summertime. And so you have to imagine this is like early September kind of like weather. Which is just fucking miserable. So, September tends to be one of the most humid months. So it's just miserable. But it's not a day by day thing. It's going to be a 2 week kind of thing.
Right. I'm still sitting, so I haven't like stood or anything or done anything else, but she's actually going to feel around just kind of on the ground for a small pebble or something.
Yeah. You're fine without really trying.
Yeah. And she'll go to just stand and like she's stretching and position herself in a way where she's kind of like shading her cellmate a bit, like with her own shadow or her own shade. But then I also want to take that chance to see if I can't like gain some attention
Sleight of hand.
from either Ophios or Laszlo.
Which one you want to throw a pebble at?
Let's do Ophios.
Sleight of hand. Natty 1.
Okay.
I have to roll a perception check. So,
I also think she should roll a dex check for accuracy.
I'm not worried about that.
I mean,
It's such a short
it didn't
distance.
make it.
Even if it doesn't hit you, it'll land near enough by that you would notice it and look around. Rena, do you want to try to luck that in any way?
I mean, yes.
It's only a 9.
Ugh.
And let's see how this goes.
An 11.
Cool.
I had to roll. So, all right. So you throw the pebble over there, and when you do that, one of the guards notices it and immediately comes over, and just without even saying anything, they come over with their club and they just crack you. And after they crack you one, that's when they start saying, "What the hell are you doing?"
She's just gonna say, I don't know, it must have got caught on my sleeve while I was stretching.
Deception disadvantage.
Oh, mother.
Insight. Here we go.
Yes!
Oh,
Ooh.
Yes!
All right.
wow. Don't let me see that happen again, he says, like gesturing at the club towards you. This clearly gets, now since I rolled an insight with a natty 1, fumbles happen, right? So as the fumble, Tyler doesn't have to roll anything, Lazarus doesn't have to roll anything. He does that, grabs the attention of everybody around. The two of them look over, and with a little bit of blood coming from the side of the head, they see an old friend of theirs. Laszlo looks at you, and he gives you like a very excited, wide-eyed look, and then just like tries to calm himself, but it's like not easy for him to do because it's the first time he's seeing you guys in a long time. He tries to calm himself, and he just gives you like a little bit of a nod.
Ophios, probably hearing her voice responding to it, will also have a surprised look. I'm gonna roll to see if he doesn't show it. What would I roll for that? Like a saving throw.
To what?
To not like overreact and show his hand.
Well, that was part of his fumble, I think, right?
I'd say
But
wisdom. I'd say wisdom check,
Wisdom.
but I don't think you have to do that at all.
I'm doing it for me purposely of how I react. So I'll do a wisdom. He is very obviously wide-eyed and just he probably does say a little loud, Rena.
I mean, she'll look, but she's just gonna be like.
And with your fumble, with your natty 1, he just immediately hears it. And so he hears that, and he looks over and sees you, and he looks back and he sees Rena, and he's like, "You guys came in together, didn't you?" He walks away and starts talking to another guard. They're talking for a couple of moments, pointing over at the two of you, talking for a bit more. The guard that's over by the gate ends up opening the gate and leaving, walking off. He's now standing by the gate instead of the other one, so only one guard's kind of walking around, but his back's to the gate and his arms are crossed and he's leaning and he's watching the two of you. Any attempt to do anything now is going to roll a disadvantage, and he's going to have advantage.
I knew I should.
Flip side of your stupid scale.
I mean, I wanted to put a roll on the line, so that's my fault, but I'll take it.
Do you guys do anything, or do you keep quiet?
No, she's just gonna sit and keep quiet, or at least try to stand again to give shade to her cellmate.
Yep.
All Ophios would have done after that was noticed is just kind of nod at Rena in acknowledgement of like, hey, that I was dumb. And actually what Ophios is gonna do, instead of meditating, he's gonna actually start moving around and doing slow moving fighting moves. After
shadow
being
boxing.
yeah, kind of shadow boxing esque, and kind of more so like it almost looks like yoga.
Like Tai Chi.
Yeah.
After about 10 minutes or so, that guard comes back with another guard, who clearly seems to be more official character. Excuse me. Some bites are more chewy than others, and they walk across the yard to come over to where actually Ophios is, and they look down at you, and the more official guard, what seems to be an officer here, looks down at you and says, "The two of you came in together, correct? With two others."
Yes, I know Rena.
Release him. Bring him and his bring the pair with me. Referencing you and your cellmate. So they go down, unlock the thing, they end up grabbing you and leading you out of the area. They end up bringing you to another spot where, funny enough, on day one of this horrible job, you're actually led out and into a different spot where you're actually given a different job. Over here, you're actually given, funny enough, the duty of organizing and taking care of the guards area, kind of like cleaning out their whole area. As you can imagine, there's a lot of guards here, either on or off duty and so on and so forth. So it's one of those you don't mess around, otherwise, but you're actually led in there. As you're being led in there, he says, "From what I understand, unless I understand incorrectly, this doesn't really have much of an effect on you anyways." You wouldn't really have an answer.
He's not gonna respond.
"So we'll find a more suiting job for you." They lead you there, but with you taking that job, you take somebody else's job, so they get led out and put back. And so Rena, about 20 minutes later, you see somebody else come and get chained down to the spot where he was. So, that's fun. So for the next 2 weeks, Tyler, you're actually, and this is probably a good thing because you're also not feeling well. You actually feel kind of like shit. So I was actually going to impose penalties on you because you're also not doing well going into this, even though this is something that's generally easier for you. This is actually a better situation for you. So you kind of failed your way upwards.
Nice.
I never would have expected that to happen.
Rena's like, "You're welcome."
However, the name Rena is known throughout Vala, and that means with these guards as well. So when you said her name and they heard it, let's just say Rena's experience there is going to be a little less pleasant. We'll get to that in a moment. So Tyler,
Sorry.
for your 2 weeks there, your responsibility is to take care of the guards. That's what your job is. To clean out their areas, launder their clothes, like literally like their chests and whatnot, where they keep their stuff. There are weapons, and there's actually bladed weapons in here, but there's so many guards around. Again, you have to be kind of a fool to want to try something. But they go through it all, and it's one of those things where as you pull out stuff from the chests to clean something, you literally have to count it off. So what there is, you'd be like, oh, 1 short blade, 1 long blade, 1 suit of leather armor, complete with you, and then the other person writes down what it is that was done. But the fun part is, your cellmate is not literate, so they have to call it off, and you have to write it down. And they come up with ridiculous names that make it hard to keep track of what it is that they're writing down. So you have to always watch what they're pulling out, because they'll be like, "Ooh, 1 fun stick." And you're like, "Okay, club." You know what I mean? And be like, "Ooh, 1 pretty." Okay, it's the guard outfit. It's like, okay, yay. But that's literally what your responsibility is. Aside from what you and I already discussed and you hinted towards on stream, what you're going to be doing tonight, in the evenings, is there anything else that kind of comes to mind for these next 2 weeks, or no?
So my question is, having been led there, do I now know where the guard's housing is within the scheme of the jail?
Yes, but more importantly, it's not like they have 1 housing area. They actually have 3.
Okay.
So it's actually, and the only area where they don't have it is actually the area that's closest to the gate, which is what's usually most heavily guarded anyways. So the guards' housing areas are kind of spread out so they kind of be where they need to be when an alarm goes off. You're not waiting for them to come all the way from, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the one thing I would say is during my time in that area, I want to roll an investigation to gain, if I roll high enough, this is your call, to understand and know who is some of the more brutal guards and ruthless, and also understanding maybe some of the scheduling that goes with like the nicer guards and the more brutal guards.
I'll allow this as an investigation, but with disadvantage, because obviously you have to be very discreet with it.
Right. Of course, I natty one that too. I have rolled 3 natty ones already this episode. 3.
The problem is that the guards, as you're kind of like, when you're listening into what they're saying, you're trying to keep notes of the various things they're talking about, they always seem to notice that you're there. So maybe it's just their regular practices, or maybe it's because your like leering kind of look tips them off. But they always seem to like, immediately turn and have the conversation elsewhere. Or, hey, what are you looking at? You know, that sort of they dissuade your ability to even really glean much information. So we're gonna go over to Rena, and then we're gonna get back to Tyler and what he's doing in the evenings. Rena, obviously you wanted to be able to help out your friend here, but the problem is these guards know who you are. There's no supporters here. So when you're out there and, hungry and tired and hot, very thirsty, they'll come over and they'll be like, 10. What? 10 now. And they'll point at the ground and you're like, they're gonna make me do like push-ups. They make you run in place. They literally call it dog walk. And they literally make you run in circles around like the python or the anchor that's there. So you're doing these again, 8-foot diameter, so 4-foot radius, little circle runs. But because your cellmate is with you, you have to hop over him every time. It's horrible. You're literally being dehydrated, and they're making you run in circles and do push-ups. Not constantly, just when they're bored, because they're also standing out there. They usually walk around and they'll drink water and whatnot in front of the different cellmates, just like tease them, just to antagonize them. But they do it more often in front of you, like spill a little bit on the ground, like, oh. But one of the things to note is that, like I said, you could only go 4 feet or so from your python. The pythons are separated enough that you can't it's not like you can reach over and high five the next person. There's actually about like a 2 or 3 foot gap between where your hand is and where their hand is. So even if like you and that person try to team up on somebody, he'd barely be able to grab them. You know what I mean? Like, just try to grab hold of them. So the guards are able to just kind of stand out of your reach as they're taunting you. So we're gonna kind of sum up your 2 weeks, which would have been normal, but now it's disadvantaged. Thank you, Tyler. I'm gonna need it's multiple, but your first Constitution save.
All right.
Oh, Rena, sorry.
What?
Are you or are you not still trying to help your cellmate with the horrors that they're now putting you through?
I will try to help him some. But she's not going to go like over the top with it. Like if it's super hot, she will try to make an effort to like help shade him. I guess when there's like when they give us our meals or whatever, she'll try to give him some of it.
Okay.
And help and tend to him as she can, but like not, like I said, not crazy because she can't physically do much more than just a bit.
So before you roll, because you're saying that it increases the DC by a bit because you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what also is last thing that's going to affect the DC before we the last thing, my apologies, that's going to affect the DC before we start you making roll is this. 1 second. Boom, 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 boom. And then boom, 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 boom. There's 14 days in a week, right? So for whether or not it rains and how much it rains, I'm actually going to ask.
Or 14 days in 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks, sorry. I'm going to ask chat in the actual like Twitch chat to exclamation point D100. And for the first 14 results, that's going to be the weather. If it is less than 50, there is no rain. If there's if there's less than 60, there's no rain. If there's more than 60, it's different degrees of rain. The higher the number, the better. We want 14 of these. So they can keep, slowly spamming it and seeing how it goes. You want no spaces, Anna.
So the first one I see is a 71.
Yeah, but
Second one is a 52. Third is 27. Fourth, 18. Fifth, 71.
Oops, 71.
Sixth, a 4. Seventh, 41. Eighth, 11. Ninth, 25. 10th, 25.
Okay, one more.
11th, 97.
Ooh, that's a good one. It's an important one.
12th, 40. 13th, 80.
And last one.
13.
Okay. 13 you said?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. So, Rena, because I was going to have you make 3 rolls for this. The first roll is going to be against literally day 1, later on in the day. It ends up raining. And actually, it's not much of a rain, but it's a little bit of a drizzle. It's nice because you can actually try to catch some water and give it to your teammate, whatever it is that's there. Help them out a little bit starting off. At least starting off, you're going to help them out. And then the 5th day, it ends up raining as well. The other 3 days, it does not. As a matter of fact, that 4th day and that 3rd day, woo-wee, hot, it was humid. God, it was miserable. So miserable. Anyways, so why don't you go ahead and roll me your Constitution save with disadvantage because of Tyler. I mean, the guards.
Oh my God. 2 8s.
Are you happy with your 60? Oh, hold up. You have to manually apply the difference. Remember?
Oh yeah. How many was it?
Oh shoot. Ugh. Yeah.
No,
I think it goes
the difference
down.
is 3. It's 3.
The difference is
Oh.
3.
This is
so
how we're
it's a
doing it
13.
while she doesn't have her armor on. So it's actually 13. Do you want to modify your 13, Rena?
2 would make it a 15, which is would be the next step. Because Scott has a tendency to do 10s and sometimes 12s, but then he'll do 15s and then 10, like anything that's margins of 5. So that's all I will say from my experience.
Huh. Okay, never mind.
It's rough. It's a rough time of it. You are suffering from dehydration. There's no getting around that. I mean, it's just absolutely friggin' miserable, Rena. Luckily for you, this is a sliding scale DC, and you did not fail miserably. You only just failed. So what you ended up getting from this is, there it is. What you end up getting from this is you leave this week, these 5 days, I should say, with 1 level of exhaustion. You have disadvantage or whatever, that doesn't go away. Your character is always exhausted. Every single solitary one of those days. You're now going into the 2nd week. The 2nd week, the 2nd roll I'm having you do, again, disadvantage because you're helping your friend there. There's 0 rain over those 5 days. The first day of it is absolutely horrible. It is so hot. It reaches like over 100 degrees. It's so humid. It's disgusting. And they're just riding you. They're making this terrible. I need that disadvantage 2nd roll from you, Rena.
Constitution save, you said.
Good luck, Will.
Oh yes! Oh my gosh!
23 and 23.
What?
You rolled. Hold on. She rolled 2 8s and now 2 18s.
2 18s, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So this week I was making it worse because of how bad the weather was for it, and the week from beforehand, it was literally going to be if you had failed by 5 or more, you were going to take 3 levels of exhaustion. If you just failed 2 levels, you succeeded, so you actually only take 1 level of exhaustion coming out of this. So you consistently have 2 levels of exhaustion you can't get away from. Now, Rena, you have to be very careful because in case you didn't know this, if you have 6 levels of exhaustion, you die. And you just heard my sliding scale. from one week to the next week, you can imagine that it gets worse. This is where things are really rough. I want you to roll one more check before we have you make a decision for this last one. Can you actually go ahead and roll me a medicine check? But again, you're rolling everything with disadvantage because your first week.
Okay.
I'm saying week, I mean group of days. So you have, oh, it's funny, it looks like a 14, it's actually a 6. Either way,
Yeah.
you have an 8.
Yeah, it
Do you want to
does.
modify that, Rena?
No. I mean, no. There's not really much I can do.
I think your cellmate just died.
It's fair.
You're putting your effort in. He is technically still alive, going into these last 4 days. What I can tell you is, because you're obviously putting the effort in, what I can tell you is this. They literally, for the past 2 days, have dragged him out of the cell and left him there where he's barely moved and dragged him and brought him back. He's technically alive, but that's, I suppose, the best sort of alive. So, all right, Rena, it is the last week. Are you still putting that last little effort to try to assist them?
No. I mean, she sees him declining fast and she's exhausted herself, so she's just, she's not going to do it.
Luckily for you, this first day pours out. It legitimately is like very rainy. It's a borderline hurricane. You know what I mean? Like it pours out. It's just cats and dogs. And you just are able to take that and just like catch the water and, you know what I mean? Dig out, like claw away some of the mud in the ground and just stick your face in.
And shove your partner's face in it.
What I
Hole in
need-
the ground.
What I need you to roll for me before you do to survive the rest of this week, because of the water that you're drinking and the quality of it, I need you to make me a Constitution save. You have only 2 levels of exhaustion, not 3, so you don't have disadvantage on this one, you mother fluffer. So you have a roll a regular Constitution save.
Okay.
Ooh, 15.
Now that 15 is not
That's
really,
a
it's a 12, but actually Oklo just gave you Prayer to the Gods, which we renamed that. I can't remember what we renamed it to. It's like something of the Arbiter. Anyway, so I just never changed the name of it over there. So
That gives her a +1, right?
that gives you a +1, so you're actually at a 13 on slurping down this soiled, nasty water. Are you fine with a 13?
It's rainwater.
It's
That's
rainwater, but
probably-
it's the stuff that's been sitting in the mud where people are shitting and pissing and whatnot all day, every day.
Yeah.
Huh? Run into the Arbiter. Let me change that name now while I have it written here.
It's a 15.
Okay. Rena, you are fine.
Oh, yes. I'm narrowly avoiding all of these diseases.
Oh, Rena.
Man,
Mhm.
if Ophios was there, man, he could have just given up water for other people, but no.
I need you, Rena, to go ahead and roll me that last, with disadvantage, of course, Constitution save. Now, I'm going to warn you, this is disadvantage, chat. Understand this. This is disadvantage, which we all know what that means. She needs to not just pass. She doesn't have to just pass. She has to not horribly fail. You have to try to survive this without horribly failing. Go ahead, Rena.
Somebody could give her the Winifred's wisdom and make it a normal roll.
Rena, don't drag your hand. You click that button, Rena. You click that button.
Oh, whoops.
You click it. Clickety clackety. Come on.
All right.
God damn it! You got Winifred's wisdom.
It doesn't matter. She already rolled.
No. It literally popped in right beforehand.
Right before. Ooh.
Yeah, you're actually able to re-roll normal.
You would have passed though. Now I'm scared because this is a third roll.
A reroll normal.
Yep. I don't see it.
I don't see the
Where is
die.
it? Oh my god! This is
Oh!
Where's it? I don't even see it. Oh my god!
It's a
Oh my
22, so
God!
I didn't show up, but the number did.
That counts as a natural 20. Now, obviously, you know the situation. What do you want to do? Are you happy with a 20? Do you think that that's probably the DC? Or just in case I want to try to luck it?
I mean.
There.
Well, there.
Last,
I mean,
last
I
luck
guess I
it
could
said
try.
0. Last
Yeah.
luck it said 0. So.
So it's. I mean, even if I.
Oh!
Whoa! Okay.
Rena, you passed the check, meaning you gain 1 level of exhaustion.
Woo!
Meaning you're at 3 levels of exhaustion. If you're not familiar with that, means until you can get rid of any of these, you have disadvantage on all ability checks. Your speed is half. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. So more or less, your character is flucked.
Okay.
Headed to the Arbiter is now officially the name. I just changed it. Aid of the
That way
Martyr.
it's easy to see aid and penance and.
And the last one is, I might need to change the image from it.
Damn.
And Blessing the War God. Yep.
I think it's 6 you're dead, Lightning Dragon.
6 is when you're dead. Yep. Yep. I wanted to get you to at least 4. That's really what I wanted to get you to at least 4. But unfortunately, I couldn't get there. Oh well.
I thought she was gonna die.
You
To be fair, I rolled 3 natty 1s, so maybe I kept those natty 1s away from you.
You never know.
And Scott rolled a 1, so there were 4 natty 1s rolled.
All right, Tyler.
Yep.
You try to guide him into describe it to me. What are you doing?
The first attempt that he tries to guide him with is he just focusing in on how Ophios does it. He's gonna tell him to focus into his natural snake form, the snake hands, the snake, the being of the snake, and try and get back and think back to when he was young, when he could do it, the last time he was able to do it. Try and jog his memory.
Messi, stop laughing about Cialis commercials, okay? When he was young, he could do it. That snake going. We see you laughing, Messi. Not funny. Erectile dysfunction's a real problem, and poor Josh has to suffer through it, okay? Oh shit. Moving on. Tell you that didn't happen. What you're gonna do, same as we always did, as you're trying to teach him, you're gonna have to roll me a charisma check for your ability to teach.
All right.
Now his learning.
Would his be more so a history check? Or what check did you make him roll? I'm just curious.
Intelligence. Oh,
Okay.
actually, I did that wrong. It's supposed to be -1, not +1. I have to reroll. As always, with the exception of Rena's armor right now, we reroll if it's the wrong modifier. Ah,
You
I was
rolled
just
the
saying-
exact same number. You know what, Scott?
so this is
It's an
what
8.
happens. You are able to get him to start transforming, but he can't quite finish. You know what I mean? You get it to the point where he's like really, really, really close, but isn't able to get the full transformation. You're literally watching it happen. It's like, ah! But he can't finish it off. And the occasionally, like, because he gets so loud trying, which never do. The guards will come. What's going on here? You know what I mean? And unfortunately, it makes for unpleasant experiences, so on and so forth. But you tried to guide him, and honestly, you truly think to yourself, I just need more time. Like, I wasn't able to teach him now because I'm literally teaching him back decades of forgetting how to do this natural thing. If I have more time, I can make it happen. Unfortunately for you, you don't have more time. Because what happens at the end of those 2 weeks? Ting, 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 ting. You're woken up in the morning. We'll say Rena first. Rena, you're lying there. Oh.
Wait, we need to know what happened to her cellmate.
Oh, he died.
But now
alone?
does she have a new cellmate, or is she just chained by herself?
He's stuck with you until the end of the job.
Oh God.
So with like 2 days left, it was
The
literally
rotting corpse.
you have a corpse with you. Because again, this entire thing is meant to be to break you down psychologically.
So,
Entire
question:
thing.
Does she
No,
need
the
to roll a
worst part
saving
is
roll?
when he's a
Okay.
corpse, who do you think moves him?
She does.
You literally have to drag it around with you, and you're exhausted, and you're dragging around. It's horrifying. We don't need to get into much more detail than you can imagine what this is like. This is just absolutely horrifying. Go ahead.
Does Rena give in to the urge of drinking his blood for the water?
No. Jay, it just rained that other day.
Yeah. Rained
He's
twice
fine.
in those last 4 days. No.
It's fine.
Which makes it even worse. What's the level of rot on the body? Because being around a rotten corpse can make you sick.
Don't worry. I know. Like I said, part of the rain, the Constitution
Tyler,
saving
or you
everything.
I
mean, you already almost killed her. So,
Hey,
I'm kidding.
I'm just playing into the game, you know.
hey, chat, remember when you all voted for Tyler not to get a magic item? Good job. So,
hey, this is because they voted me. To not...
you know, Tyler,
Alright,
you're gonna be voted off the island. Okay, Tyler.
It's okay, I can swim. Not in that current though, in that cold of water, and that far away.
So anyways, Rita, ting, 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 to come and get you. And they actually come over and they go, "You're with us." And they literally release your cuffs. They leave the corpse behind in the room and they release your cuffs. With us, they give you basic manacles behind your back. It's one of those things you're seeing, like your full wrist, your full forearm for the first time in 2 months. Oh my God. The markings that are there. I mean, you've had to wear them before when you were starting through Inclame, but for the most part, they took them off of you. You had marks before they hurt, but nothing like this. This is horrible. You can almost see like an atrophy happening right there. There's less light there. There's scarring. There's so much tissue, like scarring tissue. There's constant redness. Everything it's just not good. Your little hairs that grow there. I think Rena's blonde, right? Yeah, Rita's blonde.
Yeah.
So your little tiny blonde hairs don't even grow there right now. It's not. It doesn't look good. Anyways, so you are led elsewhere. You're actually brought to the same processing room that you were brought to before you were officially started doing your jobs or whatever. Tyler, same thing. Ting, 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 ting. Wake up. You're with us.
Ophios will look back and just simply say, "What about him?"
You're with us. You can immediately tell that was degree of fidelity. Don't talk back unless you want to be talked back to. That's how he talks.
If that's the case, he's actually going to turn his back to them and walk over and just try and whisper in his ear quickly, "Keep practicing."
And doing that, the act of defiance, you get a crack to the back of your head. Make me a will save not to get, or a con save not get knocked out.
Sure.
There it is. This is 20. No. It hurts. You feel yourself swoon and daze. Your knees buckle, but you kind of catch yourself on the bed next to him. Imagine even one more quick little whisper in your own language. Keep practice. And they grab you and they kind of like push you out on the manacles. Put the other ones behind you, so on.
He would even say he would even try. I don't think he'd be able to, but he would try to put a prestidigitation onto his mattress. His first time ever trying to use magic without his source. His sigil. And I'm sure nothing appears.
No. Unfortunately. So, you were led out of the place, as I said, manacles, where you're brought to the same room where you were processed in before. Much like last time when you were brought to the other place, you see Rita sitting there.
I imagine there's Ophios' head is kind of bleeding a little bit.
It's the back of your head, so you can see like blood kind of trickling down the Ophios' neck and around like front. Ophios is wearing a cloak though, with the hood drawn up, pulled over, so Rena can see something strange underneath the hood. She knows what it is. So I'm just like,
What am I chained to the chair or what?
No, just manacles and sitting in the chair.
Oh.
Yep. So we'll get back to you guys in a moment. For you, Messy.
Hello.
Traveled all the way up to Zholgov, where you, at the scene where you literally walk by the area where the meeting happened inside the tent outside of town. You walk by it. There's no tent there. There's not even markings of a tent there at this point, but you can see it. And you're thinking to yourself, God damn. You walk in. You walk by the building that you were held up in when you were trying to keep Mathis Cuddy from, you know, dying or whatever from his concussion.
Yeah, I left him there to go fight, and then I came back for him.
And
gone.
you're inside the town, seeing all sorts of different somethings. inside the town. You go with him until you get to an inn. Hey, funny enough, this is the inn where you met Rena and Ophios originally. The hole in the wall has been
destroyed and lit on fire
patched.
And burnt. Yep.
Yep, the hole in the wall has been patched. You can clearly tell the new stone there, and wood and whatnot that's there. The fires have been cleaned, and the wood that needed to be was replaced, but you can still see char marks around, and it's up and running in business. You're actually led in, and a room is purchased for you Cadus says you purchased a room for yourself and Ophelia or whatever, and informs you he needs to go and speak to the commander here. He leaves for a few hours. Did you do anything of notes during those few hours?
I would purchase a room. And I would not do anything else, actually. Yeah. Just
Okay.
that.
Um,
How do you spell Cadus? Is it spelled
Kaidus, I believe.
Okay.
I believe it's Kaidus. I actually have it. Why am I saying I believe? I have it written right here.
I found out because I was in spoilers today, so I spelled it.
No,
correctly.
no, Kadus. That's it. It's Kadus.
It's Cadus.
Cadus. Well,
Cadus.
It's not cad.
Cadus.
Yeah, if you have a vowel after a consonant, it can be either a short or a long vowel before the consonant. So it could be cad or cade. Right?
Okay. I don't know.
You don't know?
Everyone else spelled it in spoilers as Kai.
So how do you spell cake? You sure it's not cack?
It ends in E.
So,
There's a difference when a word.
but it's still it's a vowel
that's
after
not a
consonant.
sort. Yeah, but it's a vowel after consonant in a word that ends in E. When you have a word that ends in E, it becomes the
There are
long
many
version.
other examples of it. I just grabbed the first one because I like cake.
Kakarot? Yeah, I don't think so.
Kakarot.
Well, that's not an English word though. It's not even a Japanese word.
Anno's got
That's a
it right.
Saiyan word.
Hey,
Anno is saying Kaedus.
That's now that's Cadus. I thought it was with a C and an I. Yeah.
Well,
me
that's
too.
a like a noise. So it's that would work. Because that's like Daelric, right? Anyways,
Oh yeah, it's based on you. Okay.
no, I'm not based on
Okay,
me.
we're just chilling, bro.
I'm
It's
lawful.
okay.
I'm lawful good though. I swear.
Well, chaotic evil probably. But,
Moving on.
you know.
So he disappears. If you're doing nothing during that time, he comes back a few hours later and says, "I spoke to the commander. He said that word will be sent and the prisoners will be released, but it'll take some time for them to get to."
Why don't we travel to them? Why are they traveling here?
One does not simply walk into the gate.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's. Yeah. Sure.
I could do a little. One does not simply walk into the gate. Better?
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you.
So anyways,
Did I ever, real quick, because I just thought of this, did I ever get my cellmate's name? Because I would have wanted to have gotten that.
Billie
at some
Jean.
point. Oh yeah, it was Taserface. He was called Taserface, but his real name was something else.
Something
That's
Something
what
else.
he's been- that's what
Yeah,
he's been
I
called
always
since
know
he was-
Taserface.
since he was
yeah.
little.
Yeah. Never mind. We're good.
All right. So anyways, days pass. You can see Cadus is annoyed when he wakes up the third morning, and he's like, "I think it ridiculous that they have not yet been returned to us. I do not know where this gate is, as its location is secretive. However, I need to find out where the hell they've gone. Wait here. I'll speak to the commander again." And he leaves for a few hours. He comes back a few hours later.
You know
like I
what?
said.
Wait, before he comes back, I actually will. I will talk to Ophelia.
Sure.
I'm going to talk to her in private. In I guess her room, my room, a room,
She's naked. Yeah.
completely clothed would be nice.
Oh, okay. That
It would be It would be a lot preferable for her
That
to
then.
not be completely naked. Great,
Because
thanks. So you're just retconning
because
clothes
it's good
on her.
to role play experiences that aren't sexual without the permission of your PCs.
Yeah. That's honestly that's just D&D, you know.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah. So I would I'd meet with her in person and say it has been some time since we've seen Rita and Ophios. Do you think they'll be happy to see us?
Well, I suppose it depends on the conditions of where it is that they were sent, but let's be honest. They are there of their own volition. They chose to go. It certainly wasn't our plan for them to go that way.
But they obviously didn't know what they were getting into when they left.
Does not change the fact.
Let me ask you something, Ophelia. The thing I really want to talk to you about. You and Ophios are of the same race, correct?
Similar. Not same, but yes.
So there's many different kinds?
I suppose. Yes, there are multiple of us. Yes. She narrows her eyes, trying to see where it is you're getting to.
But you would agree that Ophios is the only one that can do what we need at the Temple of Doom.
Not necessarily. I know a lot more about the Lopers than he does. However, Ophios is somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes to figure things out. Why it is that he has succeeded where so many others have failed.
Do you think if Cadus knew that you and Ophios were the same, and that you knew more about the Lopers than he did, that he wouldn't have come back and gotten Ophios from this prison? Think he would have left him there?
I think Cadus needed to see things for himself, one way or the other.
That kind of answers my question, but not really. He'd probably push it, say,
Sure.
But do you think Cadus would have come back if he knew that you were more knowledgeable than Ophios was about the Lopers?
I can't say I know Cadus's mind. It's strange to me. All of your minds are a bit strange to me. I don't know if he would. I don't think he would. He seems to be a man in a mission. He needs to accomplish that mission. Shortcuts I don't think will satisfy him, as we've seen.
So you think he would have come back regardless, or no?
I think that he needed to discover what we've discovered before he was willing to come back. Whether or not he knew what I was. Now that being said, if he brain's not working, let me think for a second. If he yeah, that's what she would say.
I feel like she would say it's best he not know.
Oh, she that's kind of a given at this point. They've spent so much time together. That's a given at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a degree of trust for Fluffnut over here.
Mm-hmm. Fluffnut, thanks.
Welcome.
All right, in that case, I'll give you a break, Daelric, so you can work on your sheets, and I'll.
No, you're good.
stop
I'm listening to
talking
you.
No,
Please,
you're
go ahead.
You're good. That's it.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Okay.
We're good.
Did Elijah and Ophelia sleep together yet?
Do I roll for that? Flip a
Yeah,
coin?
you need to roll for that. Your character decision, you know.
Well, you know what? I'll say there's a chance. I'll say there's a 3% chance that they did. What 3% do you want it to be?
What 3%? Bottom 3, because that's bad luck for me.
Okay.
I would have to have been really drunk
Okay.
as Elijah, and she would have had to been in the wrong mindset.
No, she's can be seductive. She just usually isn't unless she has to be. Well, who knows?
Cool.
Maybe you guys spend a lot of time together, and Cadus is annoying. Maybe relieving some stress with Cadus around.
Is annoying. Oh, look, and people in the chat are rolling. Someone rolled a. No, he typed 69. He didn't roll a 69.
Listen, you sir can roll.
Yeah.
D100.
D100.
A 1, 2, or
Bottom
3. We know what happens. Bottom 3 because you're a bottom bitch.
Oh, he rolled a 2, and I was like, please be a 0. Please be a 0.
We stayed far away from each other.
No,
Yeah.
there's not a
even hold
sliding
hands.
scale. There's not a sliding scale.
No, didn't even
Just
hold
didn't
hands.
sleep together.
Nope, didn't even hold hands.
Well, no, of course you didn't hold hands.
You're right.
Even
Cadus
awkward eye
would
contact.
probably
Not even
complain that
lingering eye
they weren't
contact.
married first or something like that.
We don't even look at each other when we speak anymore. That's how unsexual we are in this relationship.
Listen, Cadus isn't Christian. He's not gonna sit there and be
All
like,
right, now what
"Ah!"
are the odds me? What are the odds me and Kata slip together?
It's a
then?
joke.
Oh, I mean,
Oh, you-
actually,
oh.
there's about an 8% chance for that one.
8. Okay.
You gotta
let's
fill that
check it
gap
out.
though. You gotta roll a 93 or higher.
That's a higher 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Let's see.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
Sorry. Good, better chances than sleeping with her though.
Wait. All right, hold on. Has he slept with himself?
Okay, there's a
think I get
98%
it.
chance.
I don't. How do I
Which
not
two
sleep with
numbers
myself?
are not? Two numbers are not where you get yourself off.
2 numbers I have erectile.
Wait.
dysfunction.
Hold on. We need to pick what percentage is mage hand and what percentage is.
Okay, let's.
wait, do I
I
have
think
bacon?
I think at this point we more or less need to take a break. I think this is a sign that we need to take a break. Does everybody agree to that one?
I
see
just wanted
chat
to get
saying
Rena
yes.
to laugh. I just wanted to get Rena to laugh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm fairly sure you can make that decision on your own. All right,
Mage
well,
hand, what the hell?
why don't we?
It's called the old magic stranger.
It's no longer the reach around. It's the.
Messy, here's the big question: is it cold?
Is it chill touch?
Yeah.
Better than chill touch.
He accidentally
I mean-
uses mage hand to use frostbite.
If I roll a 99 or higher, no, didn't do it. Not chill touch.
He didn't want anybody to discover his kink. Gotcha. All right, let's just take a goddamn. Let's just do this. Be right back, everybody.
We need answers.